Hi everyone, it's John here. I built two SaaS companies, exited the first one, and I also advise more than 100 B2B SaaS companies mostly in the US. And I also built my agency and scaled it to $1 million by productizing it, right? And today, what I'm going to talk to you about is how to get clients on LinkedIn. And this method is not going to be about the automations, right? Because I'm going to be showing you my own way of generating high ticket clients from LinkedIn. And this is going to be more of a account-based marketing approach. So before I tell you how I use LinkedIn to acquire clients, is one thing that I want to say to a lot of you who are super interested in automations and you want to automate your messages and then let AI do everything. I'm here to tell you that you're probably going to do it wrong, right? So AI is great if you know what message to scale. AI is horrible if you don't know what message is going to resonate. If you don't know your list well and you just like spamming people, don't do that. Anyways, let's get into it. Okay, so the number one thing that you want to do before you go and start any type of acquisition activity on LinkedIn. Well, first of all, when we say acquisition, I'm going to focus on organic side of things. I'm not going to focus on the paid, right? Because you can acquire customers paid and you can acquire customers freely with organic. And this is what we're going to focus on. The number one thing you need to do is you have to fix your profile, right? What do I mean by fixing a profile? Well, you need to have, first of all, you need to have a good picture, right? It's not a picture from 25 years ago. And then you need to have a good banner, not header, banner, right? Banner is the first thing someone sees when they come to your profile because it's big, it's catchy. So you got to make sure that your banner is speaking to your audience and the value that you're delivering is clear. So what I see that most of you are posting and outreaching to people, but your profile is super confusing that even if you reach out to me and I like the outreach or I like the post content that you're doing, I'm not gonna understand what you do. So you want to make sure that the profile visitors will understand what you do by looking at the banner. So banner, like you can have a statement there, I help a persona to achieve the desired outcome, right? Just the basic way of doing it so that you at least have something. Could be something like, I help SaaS companies to generate revenue from AI search engines. It's a trend these days, right? And then once you have the banner, you're going to apply the same logic and messaging to your headline. So your headline is the first thing someone sees, especially when you start commenting, right? When you start commenting, people will see your name and then people will see your headline, your title. What's it that, again, you can follow the same logic as the banner and then have the statement of, I help, certain personnel to achieve certain results. And then once you're done with this, then the next step is you need to have, well, first of all, get a LinkedIn Premium, please. And then you need to use the featured section of your profile. Featured section. Just zoom in. Sorry for my handwriting. So what I mean by the featured section is in your profile, right? Let's say that this is your profile, your picture here, your current company, blah, 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 stuff, your about section. And under your about section, you can add your case studies here. We call this like featured section. So this is where you want to pin your lead magnets. This is where you want to pin your case studies, right? So ideally, like you can pin your lead magnets here, which I'm sure that you don't have it at this stage. But if you have case studies right now, make sure that you're adding the case studies to those featured sections, right? So when someone visits your profile, at least they'll be able to see that you have some results. Okay, now our profile is ready. So what do we do next? What we're going to do next is we're going to pick our ICP. Now, this is not just for LinkedIn. This is for any marketing activity you're going to do, right? So you have to pick your ICP so that you can tailor your marketing campaigns around it. I'm not going to go too much detail into how to pick your ICP, but if you have, who do you want to bring to your funnel, right? So I'll go back to my existing customers and then think of like which ones are the best, the ones that have been paying you the highest, the ones that took the least amount of time to close, the ones that have enough TAM, right? You don't want to go after a market where you can only sell to like 5, 10 people, unless you're signing huge contracts. That's a different thing, but I'm assuming most of you don't. So pick your ICP. And once you pick your ICP, the next thing that you're going to do is we're going to filter it down because we can't reach out to everyone. And then the next thing is you want to make sure that you create your ABM list, or like, let's call it Dream 100. Okay. Why did we create the Dream 100? If you're selling high ticket services, like you don't need to sell it to 1,000 people, right? So even if you convert only few, you're still going to make a decent amount of revenue because you sell a high ticket service. And this is why what you want to do here is like you want to pick 100 people that you want to sell to. You have some kind of signal. You understand that they might be interested with what you are selling. The signals is a whole different topic that I can cover later on, but as a rule, or like just to simplify this, what you can do is like once you pick your ICP, especially if you're selling services, right? So you can go after companies that have recently raised the funding, because if someone recently raised the funding, they most likely have some money, right? So now it's up to you how good you are at creating a demand that they're open to having a conversation with you, right? So ideally, and also the reason why we're picking this Dream 100 is because these people, we're going to be engaging with them. We're going to start a lightweight ABM campaign to those people by using link. So once you pick your Dream 100, put it onto a spreadsheet or any other tracker that you like using, because we're going to be connecting and engaging with these people later on. So the next step is invites. So what you want to do is you want to start sending invites to people on your Dream 100 list. Don't pitch them anything. Don't send any, one second. Don't send any kind of like notes when you're reaching out to them. Just send an invitation request. That's the best way, right? That's the best way to not look salesy. So you'll start sending invites. Like you can start sending, 10, 15 per day. If you don't need to automate it, you can go manually. You only have 100 people, right? And then what you want to do is, well, some people will accept it, some people will not accept it. So you have 100 people in your Dream 100 and only like 75 accepted. So I would make sure that I'm adding more people till I have that 100 filled, right? And then once you start inviting, what you don't want to have is a blank profile, right? And this is valid for like if you're doing email outreach or you're doing any type of outreach. The first thing that person will do, they'll check your LinkedIn profile. If you're no one, you don't have, it's not about the followers, but if you don't have any content, if you don't have any proof that you work with someone similar to them, you're just a ghost. So we don't want that to happen. And that's why you are going to go and create the content. Create content. For some reason, I just cannot write straight. I don't know why. Okay, so regarding creating content, don't give me this excuse, oh, I don't have time, right? I don't have time as well. I run several companies, yet I still write all my posts, or just go and get a ghostwriter, right? But you can start yourself. Anyways, what type of content do you want to create? My content strategy, I like to create problem-focused content, meaning that I focus on the problem of my ICP, right? So how to build a GTM, how to build a content strategy, like anything that I know that they're having this problem, and then I can also solve it, right? So I like to write about the problem related stuff. I like to do build in public, build public. And so build in public is basically like, what are you doing right now? What are you trying to build? What are you trying to achieve? Your failures, your success. This is like more like a personal story. It has nothing to do with your product or any other marketing material. But this type of post, people like it because you're just telling a story, and it's something personal. Then like client wins, for example, client wins. So if you're working with a client, whether you're an agency or you're a SaaS product, any type of wins, you should be posting these things. Because again, like we'll be using these assets later on. I know that you cannot post a new one like every week, every month, but you can still repurpose or like repost. Like don't be afraid to repost stuff, because like not everyone is seeing your content when you put it out there. We have a problem, build in public, client wins. I talk about trends, right? So if there are like certain trends in the industry, I'm gonna go about and talk. If they're like certain new, oh now ChatGPT released a feature that allows you to buy e-com items from the search, like these kind of things in my niche, right? And then lastly, and this is an important one, and this is something that many of you don't know how to do, or you're too lazy to do it, is lead magnets, or you can call it giveaway post as well. So these ones, they really, really work well. What you want to do here is you want to create a lead magnet. It could be something that you've done for your client. Like you can basically take your case study and turn it into like how we achieved XYZ result in XYZ days. And then put it into a Notion doc, put it into Figma or any other thing, or put it as a YouTube video. And then you're going to go out there, post this stuff and say, here's how we achieved XYZ for our client. And we, created the whole playbook, comment, keyword to get it, right? So some of you might hate this, but it works really, really well. It's like it really helps me to generate leads, but don't scam people. Like what I'm seeing these days is like some people create lead magnets and then you comment and then they never end up sending this because they don't have the content, right? So you want to make sure that you have the content. And then the second thing is don't overpromise and underdeliver, right? So if you're going to create lead magnet, make sure that you're creating a good one. You'll use this to post and get virality. And you're also going to remember the section that we talked about where like you have the featured stuff like here, like you can also use your lead magnets here as well. All right. So now you have your Dream 100, you are connecting with people, you have your content, your profile is not a ghost, you created some lead magnets, you're distributing them. What do we do? Now we do the most boring thing, which is commenting. I hate commenting as well. I'm going to be honest. So why do we comment? Because, well, first of all, sometimes comments get more engagement than views than the post these days. And the second is you want to get into the radar of someone. This Dream 100 list, this one, where you build, you want to make sure that you put them into some kind of tracker, like you can put it to Airtable, Google Sheets, or whatever you want to use. And what you want to do is like, you want to spend some time every single day and you want to go and leave a thoughtful comments for everyone who is under that list. Now, some people will post daily, some people will post once in a week, but you want to make sure when they post something, try to be early there and try to leave a thoughtful comment, not like some bot comment was like fire emoji or rocket emoji or saying congrats, right? Make sure that you read the post and then you leave a thoughtful comment. When you do that, and when you start doing this consecutively, you will get in the radar of the person you're trying to reach out to, right? So what will happen here is they'll check your profile, and because your profile is optimized and it speaks to the person that you're trying to reach out to, first of all, they'll understand what you do and you'll get into their radar. The second thing is because you're helping them on their LinkedIn journey, every time you post something, if they see, they're going to do the same thing as well because you're helping them and they see you posting and they'll comment. When they comment, their network will also see as well. So you're expanding your reach. This is super important, right? So you have to do this. Now, till now, we didn't reach out to anyone. We did not pitch any services, right? So next step. These things, commenting, you're doing this all the time. Creating content, you're doing this like on a recurring basis. You can post like twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. You're already done, right? So you're focusing on your top 100 accounts. Now, we did not send any message to anyone yet. So you need to have some kind of cold offer, right? Or lead magnets. Whatever you want to call it. Once I start connecting with people and commenting on their posts, they start becoming more like warm and warm. Sometimes they might check your profile or they might say hi to you, or you might say hi to them. I do this as well. Like I don't pitch anything to anyone, but I say hi to them and start like a conversation. And usually after a month of doing all these activities that I'm mentioning here, you can start reaching out to people, right? You can start reaching out. But when I say reaching out, I don't mean, hey, do you want to buy my services kind of reach out, but you can reach out in a couple of different ways. One, you can just deliver them a value straight away, but the value that you're delivering should be relevant to the product that you're selling. So if you're an agency, for example, let's say that you're a Google Ads agency, right? Value. And you reach out to someone and say, hey, do you want to get Google Ads services? We're going to promise you X, Y, Z ROI. Like that's a nonsense stuff. But if you reach out to your prospect and say, hey, we know that Asana is your competitor and they've increased their bid on this keyword over the last 6 months and they've been keeping the same keyword, it means that they're probably making money from this. Just wanted to let you know. And here are some of the keywords that we found for it. So if you reach out to me this way, then you're delivering a value. That's one example. Sometimes you're not going to have an intel that you can tie with your product and then deliver them a value straight away, right? So if that's the case, you need to give them some kind of like a lead magnet. Now, what is that lead magnet? It should be something that other people are charging, that you're giving it for free, and it's going to be valuable for the person that you're reaching out to. Now, if you're a service business provider, that's an easier for you. You can basically give them a free service or something. To give you an idea, like with one of my agencies called Restart, right, where we focus on the LinkedIn side of things, we filter our leads, we create a good list, and then we reach out to potential prospects and we say, hey, we have this LinkedIn accelerator where we're going to take control of your profile for 30 days. We're going to create content, or and make sure that we're going to put you in front of the right ICP, and that's for free, right? Other people will be charging for this, and I do it for free, right? So that's service-based lead magnet. Now, if you're an agency, it's easier to do this unless you're lazy. But if you're like SaaS business, it becomes more difficult. When you're a SaaS business, like you need to think of like maybe you know their customers and you can give them something about their customers, or let's say that you're reaching out to retailers and you already work with 100 retailers, and you can also share some kind of insight with them and say, hey John, we worked with 100 retailers in the past, and we have this insight that I don't know what is the insight, but we have this insight, but we thought that it would be valuable to share for you. Would you like to hop on a call and we share? If they don't respond, like you can send the Loom as well. The idea here is that you have to create some kind of a lead magnet and cold offer that when you reach out to the person, even if they don't know you much, like they will still be interested, right? Because if you just reach out to someone and say, hey, do you need XYZ services? Like most people, they don't wake up and say, oh, I need to get Google Ads service today, right? So some people will wake up like that, but most people don't. So you need to find a way to nurture them. Or maybe they won't even know that they need your services. It could be like if you're a SaaS and you're not in a very mature, especially if you're a SaaS and you're not in a mature space, most people don't know that there are solutions like you out there, right? So you need to make them aware. Think about like offers and lead magnets that you can create, and you can make these people aware, right? So once you start reaching out like this, right, you will see that some people will take up on your offer and then they'll hop on a call with you. And then hopefully you'll close them. Now, this thing is not fast. It takes time. But as I said, because you're selling a high ticket service, one, you can wait. And two, like you only need to sell it to 1,000 people. So what you need to do is you need to continuously do all these steps, right? Once you're done with this list, like create another list and rinse and repeat all the steps here. So if you do this for 6 months and then you say that you still don't have a pipeline, you're doing something wrong. Like this is one way that I'm using with my SaaS companies, especially the high ticket ones, the ones that are not selling the $99 per month offer. I'm doing this for my service businesses. Keep doing this, and then come tell me that you don't have a pipeline in the next 6 months, right? So it's pretty hard. You will get noticed. People will start noticing you. People will start engaging you. Yeah. I hope this was helpful. Maybe I'll create another LinkedIn video for later, which could talk about like how I do ABM with the paid side of things. But that's it for now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.